Hello and welcome to Future Classic Women Awards with me, Stefania Passamonte, on Women's Radio Station, the program where we search for the most amazing new female artists on the classical panorama. Today I'm excited to reveal the winner of the instrumentalist section of the second edition of Future Classic Women Awards. Before I tell you who she is, I would like you to listen to her first piece of today's interview and let you guess who she might be. So this was Reynold Glier, Impromptu for Harp, and the winner of Future Classic Women Awards Instrumentalist section is Charin Kim. Hello, Charin.
Hello, so nice to hear you again.
congratulations in winning the second edition of Future Classic Women Awards. Where were you when you received the news that you are the instrumentalist winner?
Oh, thank you so much.
Well, okay, wonderful. Well, yeah, so I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about winning this award? I mean, this is a popular award given by the listeners of the program Future Classic Women Awards. So you were a nominees among many incredible artists, and then the finalist, and then you ended up actually winning. So how do you feel about this?
I only can express how much I am thankful, and words cannot express. First of all, I thank to Almighty God, Jesus Christ, who gave strength through my musical journey. Also, I thank to my husband, who loves me deeply, and my parents, my brother, who supported my music in their whole lives. And I also thank so much to your organization, radio station, wonderful radio station, and audience who loved my music. It's just beyond expression, beyond explanation that I can express by words.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being part of it, and being, giving you your wonderful music. Now, why did you choose the Reynold Glier Impromptu as the first song for today?
I felt it shows some glorious moments when I practiced. I like the sound of some glory, that there are some sentimental parts, and it gives messages of total overcome while you are hearing this piece. Very short, just maybe under 5 minutes, but it gave joy to practicing playing, so I thought audience might enjoy.
Absolutely. Well, I enjoy it very. It's really, how would you say, it's really lifting the spirit. It's really something that is bringing you away in a faraway land. I really love it.
Right,
Just,
thank you
just one
so
question
much.
now. Talking about being far away, where are you now? Last time when we interviewed you, you were in Florida, I remember, taking some time to research and compose. Are you back in Boston or somewhere else in the world?
I'm I'm still in Florida,
Okay.
and I'm teaching remote at university, but I'm still in Florida, but my original town is Boston, yes.
So are you planning, how is it going with the lockdown now in Florida?
I try to enjoy every day as much as I can. Whether situation is hard or good, I try to adjust myself and to give my best.
Absolutely. Now, I heard that in America, for example, in Colorado, lessons are kind of going back to normal. So it will be a mix of online and in-person lessons. Are you gonna do that, or you're just gonna teach in remote?
I think for now, this semester, I mean this fall will be remote for sure. So I will remain remote. And if school opens next semester, I plan to go back, or maybe I can stay here one more semester, preparing concerts and composing some other music.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Now,
Mhm.
how important it is to
Mhm.
teach in person instead of teaching in remote, Even just the interview that we're doing in remote is not the same as if you were in the studio, if we were actually having the opportunity of meet each other. How different it is to teach online.
Yes, it's very true. It's a different approach, I would say. They're good and bad in every different situation, but I try to focus on positive sides of it. So, for example, when you teach a student one-to-one, face-to-face, there are things that you can catch more lively with the tone quality or dynamic contrast or as everything as real, because you cannot replace any recording of any music as you cannot replace with the real concert, right? So it's the same thing, but I see the passion beyond eager to learn from students, even from remote. They try to focus so much, they observe everything so carefully, they're so thankful and happy. And I try to send, if they don't understand or if they have a hard time fixing their positions or technique, I try to take other extra time to make videos of myself with the correct hand position and fingerings. I write down and send captures of all the fingerings that might be suggested and things like that. So you just have different approach. As long as their hearts are passion, that you're sure that we are going to make sure this will happen, then it will happen, as long as God allows us. So yes, we are happy either way.
Absolutely. Now, how did you actually record anything during the lockdown? There have been a lot of artists that performed in support of the NHS here in the UK, you know, of the key workers that have been out there risking their life to help people, you know, during the pandemic. Did you do anything like that?
Absolutely, because I had several recordings from the past, like live concerts or home recording or recordings from recording studios, but I was a shy person and I did not release in public ever. I never thought about that. But then during this lockdown time, as you were guessing, I released 5 albums, about 50 songs inside there. Also about other 100 single albums that I released during this lockdown.
Wow, super productive. I mean, this is as in everything, I guess. There is the good side and the bad side. I mean, there is the tragic side of the people, of course, that they lost dear friends or family members to this terrible virus. But there is also the good side of making us appreciate more what's, what we have and the people that we have around, and actually when we can see them, and in this case as well, you know, making you less shy and enabling you, you know, to actually put out more beautiful music. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Now, I would like to ask you actually. So, this is a competition, right? So it's an award given by the public. Is a title given to the most beloved or most interesting artist that we've been lucky enough to meet or interview during this year. How important it is for an instrumentalist or a composer to compete. Let's explain that to the audience.
Do you mean, pardon me?
Is it important in the sense, would you like to explain what does it mean for you to compete in a competition, you know, to perform against other artists like you, normally harp competition or piano competition, you know. Why do we do that?
Right. Okay. The main idea of competition, I don't think anybody can be rival against each other. Even the competition itself, the definition sets up that winner is this one, bronze medalist, gold medalist, silver medalist. But I still believe the rival, if I have to use that term, rival, it's myself. It's myself that I practice. Even there are many fall times that I fall off with my technique, or there this determination, that discipline that you have to overcome yourself. So rivalry, I would take that it's your rival, own overcome via against yourself, but it's a joyful competition to yourself because you only seek for gain after this long time of practice. You present the beautiful music and people love. They cry out of joy and touching their hearts. So it's so meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there are many youngsters, young students attending the competitions, and I do see the good parts of it is that try to motivate because people, if there are no tests at all, no homeworks, no tests, no grading system, it's very easy to get lazy, right? So knowing that you set up for some concert program and competition, it definitely gives motivation.
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly it. I mean, what I wanted to shine a line on is the fact that for us to compete, it's not like when you see the Olympic Games and the 100-meter, sprint or the higher jump,
Right, right.
whatever. This is not being better than someone else. It's just to give out
Yeah,
as much as you can yourself as an artist. And then sometimes you're rewarded by
right.
actually being the one who gave the most in that moment, but not necessarily means that you are, well, depends. I mean, but when you do competition at a certain level, everyone is extraordinary, isn't it?
Right. I think I received I believe about over 10 or 12 awards in my life as a
Yeah.
competition winner or award winner,
Mm-hmm.
both instrument, both piano and harp. But I myself, first of all, always enjoyed playing in a concert setting without competition. You just go, your family, friends, and all the audience who love your music came to concert, try to listen. That's so exciting. A bit
Mm-hmm.
more comfortable than competition setting that where I have to go and make my best, give my best, right? But this type of award I really love and enjoy because something after I perform, giving a great concert, or if I do complete my master degree, doctorate degree as the best concert presentation and things like that, then they give award. It's very heartwarming feeling.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. If you had to choose, I mean, we know very well that competition are part of our career. It's hard to manage to make a career without actually competing and getting awards. But if you could choose, would you prefer not to do it, for example, not to have to compete, or you like it?
Well, I think I follow my instincts. Sometimes some competitions, if I feel like those repertoires, I want to try learning all the four stages and I want to go for it. And
Yeah.
if my other schedule when I was a student, for example, if my academic schedule allows and the health situation allows, for example, for musicians, not only emotional mental health is important, but also physical health is extremely important. There is certain require for being athletic, like stamina requires. So if you're healthy enough and you can make it with all other situations, yes, go for it. And again, I am kind of believing this type of thing that says failure is it only brings experience and it will lead you to success something. So I'm not
Absolutely.
afraid of trying.
Yes, you're not afraid in trying. Absolutely. No, I just had a friend the other day, a performer, professional performer, who posted a
Mhm,
picture on the social
mhm.
media saying, you know, that's the moment when I wish I had a normal job right before going on stage. Then you
Oh,
got everything goes away. Did you ever had that feeling or that thought about
abs-
not doing this job?
well, for me, never. because I knew music was my destiny. One day, actually, I was asking myself two questions seriously. Because when I was younger, when you're a child, you just wish you would get age faster. Like when you're 10 years old, oh, I want to be in my 20s quickly, But then as you get older, you realize life is not that long. It's like if you're in your 30s, it feels like life is going in 30 miles. If you're in your 50s, I'm sure that will feel like, oh, it's going 50 miles an hour, right? So I I thought I asked myself, what can you do to have a meaningful life? And what's the reason you chose music? And I got the answer that I chose music because I loved it. I'm never going to change that. Anything related with music, it will be always in my bone, and I will live my life for that. But it was so touching knowing that music can be my tool to touch people's hearts. Sometimes there are many people suffering, like around this time. They probably lost ones or suffering themselves, but then I cannot embrace, like hugging them, give a small hug or take away their tears from them. But I believe somehow I can reach out to them through my music and give them comfort. And when their joyful moment comes, they also can listen beautiful music and feel uplift mood, right? And other thing was about how can I have a meaningful life? And my answer to myself was that I wanted to have some of myself remaining in this world after I left this world. After my death from this short life, that I want to leave some compositions or recording of my songs, or through teaching, educating students for next generation to be a better musicians, somehow my arts or music will remain this world. And I thought that's a very beautiful part of music that can travel between centuries, regardless centuries or countries or spaces, wherever you live, music can travel.
Absolutely. I mean, I'd like to talk more about that, about the meaning of music, because we will talk about this after we listen to another song of yours, that is your performance of the Rhapsody by Marcel Gragnani. Beautiful. And this was Marcel Gragnani, Rhapsody. Cherin, actually going back to our discussion on competition and competing, you direct the USA International Music Competition. How is it to be on the other side of the competition, you see, or to be a judge in a competition, a jury in the competition? What's the difference between competing and then actually directing a competition?
I would say rating in the competition felt when I was judging the competition, I try to see the best parts of every performer. Everybody have different side of decision. For example, some people like clean playing without mistake as less as possible, even no one is perfect. Some people try to see interpretation, more of how the performer has deeper in depth of knowledge of leading their own interpretation through their musics. Or some other judges might be seeking for making pretty pleasant lines constantly with every beautiful phrases and how the flow should go, right? But of course, I had to consider all of these three, but try to see what's the best things in each performer and try to give the best score for those each performer to encourage those and also leave comments for them.
Yeah, the comments are so important. In a way, it's a key to understand how to improve and where to go and how to go to the next level, particularly when you are a young competitor. And those are skills that you can then find in the everyday life, isn't it?
Right, and there is actually one other addition is that there is a difference when you are grading students for jury, for example, for competition, it's type of competition because student will have to compete for the award, right, after jury every semester. You kind of know the students, their personalities, how hardly they worked, or you kind of know their backgrounds of academic study journey.
Yes.
But when you go to judge, right? But when you go to judge in an international competition, you don't know each other, but you communicate, you get to know the performer's life through their music. So which is exciting because performers speak through their music without a single word, absolutely no single word, but you express who you are, how you have been experiencing in your life. I believe I see that every performer show me that. So there is something which is like singing movie that I did not see the trailer, but I'm watching it for the first time. Shocking, just come out. So something different as a judge. And as a performer, if I'm a competitor who is participating, it's a different setting because I have to regardless. Well, some other performer might be trying to think, how can I please? How can I get the best of scores of every part of my technique or artistic interpretation and things? But I absolutely try not to think about anything, but okay, I'm going to show who I am, how I lived, how my life has been, what I want to give message to people about life or sadness or happiness, how I overcome my own struggles. So all these things I try to wrap together and in short timing, because it's a time artist in timing. So I try to represent as much as I can. If they take it and if they see good parts of it, great. I will, if I get blessed, then yes, I'll get a award. Even if not, I'll be so happy. I had a wonderful opportunity to perform in front of so many wonderful, honorable judges, international judges or national competition judges. I am so thrilled. So that's how I view the point of the competition.
Absolutely. Now, we were talking before, Gragnani, about the meaning of the music, about the fact, as you just said, now that is bringing you, a sort of silent movie of the emotion and what the performer is thinking when he's performing. There is something that is very dear to me as a musician, and this is the fact that music, even if it was composed 200 years ago, is actually very relevant today, because I believe the the human being is the same. It was the same, during the ancient Egyptian or the Roman, and is gonna be the same in 300 years from now or 2,000 years from now. I mean, we all love, we all felt sad, or we're happy, and the music is transmitting feelings of the human being, of the soul, that are the same no matter where you come from and no matter where you've lived, isn't it? So I'd like to ask
absolutely.
I'd like to ask you, for example, this Rhapsody that we just heard, that is so beautiful by Gragnani. What does that give you? What do you like to say about that piece when you perform it?
I performed and chose this piece to release as a recording because I remember my teacher from Royal Academy of Music. Her name is Scala Kanga. Yes, she was absolutely wonderful teacher who changed my performance, my life, because there was so much in depth from very basic to the level that she leaded me. And I will always feel, I'll have eternal gratitude towards her always. She loved this piece, and for some reason, whenever she heard me this piece, she showed so much affection to this piece while I was playing, and she was so happy. So I missed her, I remember her, and so this piece is especially in my heart.
Wow, it's a memory of a dear person. That's very special as well, yeah. The next piece that we're gonna listen to, it's Pescetti. So Pescetti is an Italian composer.
Right.
And so what is this piece about? It's a sonata, it's the second movement from a sonata. But why just the second movement?
In C minor, right.
Yeah. So why just the second movement?
Yes, I love this piece. This short movement is so beautiful that I cannot describe. But it's something that very. Do you remember people saying fewer words sometimes have more weight? It feels like a composer were trying to show so much emotion through very few notes. There are not much technical difficulties, but that vice versa, it requires a lot of more control and focus to bring through articulation, dynamic contrast, and also through phrasing and everything to bring the best of his emotions. And contrast with Gragnani and Salcedo, this Pescetti piece was written for harpsichord, I believe, but then it was transcribed by Carlos Salcedo. And Salcedo and Gragnani are one of the two harp method creator. And they contrast in their techniques, but I believe every humans have different finger size, arm angles, and everything. We can adapt their own best methods. So you can actually create your own method in a way to adapt for yourself. And this Carlos Salcedo's transcripted this Pescetti was really beautiful in that sense, fewer notes, but somehow this movement will touch people's heart. I knew that, so I chose that.
All right, so let's hear Pescetti Sonata in C minor, second movement. How beautiful. This was Pescetti Sonata in C minor, second movement. Very beautiful, Cherin. So full of melancholy as well, and so intense. Just wonderful, really. Thank you for sharing this piece with us today. So we're
Thank you.
now in the last part of our interview, and that's the part where we're gonna be, talking about something a little bit lighter. So, what would you say is the funniest piece that you ever performed? Something that is giving you, makes you smile or makes you even laugh when you play it, if that happened ever.
Yes, there are many pieces, but I think for me, composers are wonderful. By some reason, every piece has sad parts and happy parts, overcoming parts, struggle parts, all the parts. So I would say it's every part of every composition. I feel certain parts that there is so much joy. It's like a spark, like a fireworks in my heart. This is so fun part to practice and play. So I experienced that almost every piece, I would say.
Oh, wonderful. So the
Yes.
last the last piece that we're actually gonna listen to is a Partita by Bach for solo violin, transcribed for harp by Marcel Graiani again. Now, something about Bach. I mean, the Partita for solo violin, as the Partita for solo cello as well, the suite for solo cello, are some of the most incredible repertoire in those instruments and the history of classical music, really. What do you think about Bach and his music?
Well, Bach is simply a father of music, right? And
Yeah.
his music is, I think no one can even give any explanation how his music is. We just look up to his music and we just enjoy his legacy that he left in each of his every his composition.
Yeah.
And I like this piece because it's something beyond musical interpretation. Each note has to produce a certain tone, dynamic contrast, and articulation. All these requires quite of stamina. You have to be kind of athletic, right?
Oh
It
yeah.
means, I, yes, I mean mental focus is needed above anything. But yes, this piece requires focus in every aspect. It's beyond musical interpretation. So I love listening this piece in the morning sometimes because I
Yeah.
feel very fresh. It's like brainwashing fresh.
Mm.
There are pieces like other pieces, like let's say Pachetti.
Mhm.
That type of piece is like Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata, for example.
Mm.
It has
Mm.
moto perpetuo right hand motion going, and this Pachetti is opposite. It's left hand moto perpetuo just constantly going, but representing beautiful melody inside hidden or coming out. But this type of music is something that as you get older, every year you kind of play slightly different with a different interpretation because you have different life experiences and you get mature in other senses. So that type of music, you will be surprised if you record yourself Moonlight Sonata 20 years ago and 30 years later, right? But this Bach Partita really requires certain freshness that has to stay there eternally, like without change of ages or interpretation. It's just spark, just absolute boldness there.
Absolutely. I mean, there is so I like the fact that you said that you associate Bach, this Bach in particular, with the morning freshness. I
Right.
believe there is, or like Beethoven, that is has been renamed the Moonlight Sonata because people feel like its color is the white of the moon at night. That's a very special thing. So, which color would you say is this piece? Which color would that make you think of? And then I'll give you my color, and then we see if the same. Actually, no, we listen to it and then we decide which color that should be, shall we? Let's listen to Johann Sebastian Bach, Partita for Solo Violin number 3 in E major, the prelude transcribed for harp by Marcel Crayani with Cherin Kim at the harp. wonderful and glorious. So, which color is this piece for you?
I say this is like absolutely sunshine color. Meaning no color, but so much white brightness. Like when you look at the sun in the cloud, even sun is hidden in the clouds. Can you see the color? Some might say it's a white color, but it's not even white figure. It's just sun. You can't even see sun through your eyes. It's so bright. I would just say that's the color that I imagine and see this through this piece.
Wow, that's exactly the color I was thinking, the golden sunshine coming through the window after, absolutely beautiful.
Right.
After, in the middle between the dark clouds, suddenly this is just, illuminating everything and brightening up the flowers going, blossoming. It's really such a beautiful piece, definitely one piece to make you smile and to make you happy. Well, Sherin, it's been wonderful to have you today with us, and I'm so pleased. Congratulations on this other achievement among the many awards that you already received. What's your next project? I remember you were working on this transcription in all the instruments of this kaleidoscope, am I right? Of your piece for that was in the movie. Have you been, what's your next project? What's gonna be a new recording, maybe a new album coming out soon?
Yes, I will keep releasing more songs that I compose and more songs I perform as long as I have strength to perform the piece. And yes, there are about over 80 songs that I transcript with the different languages of my own composition, and I release that in public too. Hopefully one day a professional singer can recognize the song and have the song so everyone in the world can hear the songs. And my only wish is that people have more love between each other. I know it's very sad time, but sadness does not mean always sadness. As there are rainy days, we will face the glorious day, like sunny day. So everybody wants to keep their hopes in good and positivity, and knowing that only love can go through all this. Help some neighbors who are in need, and encourage your friends who are in sadness, and uplift their moods and things. By doing that, I believe music, classical music especially, will play a big role of it. So I will continue my destiny and my duty to do that, to help others as much as I can if I can do by my humble music.
Absolutely. Well, again, a huge congratulations to Sherin Kim, winner of the second edition of Future Classic Women Awards in the instrumentalist section. Tune in on Monday, 5th of October at 10 a.m. London time to discover the winner of the opera section of Future Classic Women Awards. If you have any questions that you would like to ask our guest or nomination for our third edition of Future Classic Women Awards, please email presenters at womensradiostation.com or tweet us at Women's Radio STN. You've been listening to Future Classic Women Awards on Women's Radio Station live every day at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. London time. And if you would like to listen to it again or catch up on our previous programs, please head to my presenter page, Stefania Passamonte, Future Classic Women Awards on womensradiostation.com. Thank you for listening.